This is Ken Leone, Vice President of Marketing here at Stock Rover. In this video, we'll show you how to run a screener, and we'll also show you how to modify a screener's filter settings, as well as create a new screener from scratch. Note that some of the features shown here require a Stock Rover Premium Plus subscription. First, a quick explanation of screeners. Screeners allow us to filter through the tickers in the Stock Rover investment universe of North American equities and ETFs, returning those tickers that meet our specific investment criteria. The available filtering criteria is comprehensive. Stock Rover contains well over 600 screenable metrics, which cover price performance, financial and operational metrics, as well as sector and industry metrics. To run a screener, we'll select Screeners from the Start menu. The navigation pane shows us a list of screeners currently in our account. In addition, the investor library contains over 150 additional screeners that are available for import to our account. We'll select the Relative Strength screener. Choosing the table layout displays the screener's results. This screener is returning 93 tickers. We have selected to view the tickers that pass the screener's filters using the Return versus S&P 500 view. To modify a screener, we can either select Modify this screener in the Screener Actions pane, or we can click on the screener and select Modify Screener. The right pane shows the Screener Manager. Here we can change the screener settings, as well as disable, delete, or modify the current filter criteria. We can also add new criteria using a threshold, as well as equations. We see 50 tickers pass the screener's filtering criteria. Let's modify a filter. We'll increase the filter for the 6-month return versus the S&P 500 to 15%. Here we see a threshold along with a description. Now that we've made the change, we'll update. We can also simply click on the criteria to change the setting. Notice our preview pane is now showing 45 tickers passing the filtering criteria. To add more filtering criteria to the screener, selecting Add Criteria allows us to add a filter for a single metric. Selecting Add Freeform Equation allows us to add more sophisticated filtering using equations that can include the evaluation of multiple metrics. We'll select Add Criteria and add a specific filter. I can search for metric by name or description, or go directly to a metric folder. We'll go to the Return versus S&P 500 metric folder, and we'll add a filter to select tickers that have outperformed the S&P 500 by more than 200% over 10 years. We'll input our value of 200. We'll click OK. Here we see our new filter. Notice the preview window is listing 12 tickers now passing our screener's filtering criteria. We'll save. A quick note about the preview window. It is just that, a preview that shows up to the first 100 tickers that pass a screener. So if your screener returns more than 100 tickers, you won't see all the results in the preview window. When you're ready to take a deeper dive into screener results, you'll want to make use of the table, which can be quickly accessed from the Screener Manager by clicking Run in Table. We'll resize the columns to fit the display. Note that you can see the results with different views by switching the view. I'll go to Views, Price Performance, and Current Returns. To create a screener, we can either select Create a new screener in the Screener Actions pane, or right-click on the Screeners folder and select Create New Screener. The right pane now shows the Screener Manager. We'll screen for stocks, and our investment universe will be the S&P 500 only. We are showing the basics here, but we can also filter for specific exchanges as part of the filtering criteria too. Let's click on Add Criteria. We'll start by filtering for tickers where the expected sales growth for the next fiscal year based on current analyst estimates is greater than 10%. I'll go to the Revenue Estimates folder. We'll select Sales Growth next year, and we want a value greater than 10%. And we'll select OK. We can see that 88 tickers have passed the filter. Let's add another filter using an equation. We also want to filter on companies whose current sales exceed the trailing 12-month value from 1 year ago by more than 10%. We'll click on Add Freeform Equation. We're interested in sales, so we can either search for the word sales, or we can go to the income statement and select sales. We're looking at our sales now. Is it greater than? And we'll select sales again. And notice we have an edit button here. Stock Rover maintains historical data about sales. So when I click on the edit button, I can go back 9 quarters, trailing 12-month periods going back 10 years, or calendar years going back 10 years. I'm interested in trailing 12 months, and I'm interested in going back TTM1. So we're selecting the trailing 12-month value from 1 year ago today. And we'll click OK. And we're going to do a bit of math. Is it greater than 1.10? We're filtering for sales now exceeding TTM1 by 10%. We now see 35 tickers pass our criteria. In the interest of time, we'll stick with just these 2 filters. Let's save. And we can give this screener a name. So we'll call it S&P 500 Sales Growers. And we can optionally give it a description. And we'll save. We'll now run in table to see the passing tickers and their filter return values. We see 35 tickers and their return values. I'd like to investigate more using the table, so I'll select the Statements folder and the income statement. Here I see more detail for each of the passing tickers. We'll go to Tesla, we'll right-click and select Historical Data. Here we see the sales on a yearly basis, a quarterly basis, or a trailing 12-month period basis. For more help on screeners, select Help under your Stock Rover username and then select Screeners. Here you'll find well-documented screener help organized by topic. I hope you found this video useful. I encourage you to explore Stock Rover and see all that it has to offer, as well as check out our educational videos on our website. Thank you for watching.